Payday is back, baby. Come to Hurley's to watch Payday and hang out with Ferrall and talk college and pro football. All right, let's take a look at all the great college football games that are on slate for this week on Payday. Let's start it off with Thursday night's game at Mississippi State. You got Auburn and Mississippi State. They played last year, and Auburn blew them out 49-24. They were laying 14 in that game, and both of these teams have huge games coming off of this game. Auburn plays Clemson. Mississippi State goes to Death Valley to see LSU. So this is a huge game and a huge test for Mississippi State at home. They got a great young quarterback. They're quick. Can they handle the pressure of Auburn coming in to see them on a Thursday night? Friday night, there's two games. West Virginia, Marshall, UTEP, and Houston. Now let's go to Saturday's games. There's some great games. And I mean to tell you, this is a stacked week of college football when it comes to gigantic matchups. Georgia and South Carolina. What a game it was the year before. 41-37. The Dogs beat the Gamecocks in Athens. This time they're playing in Columbia. And you got a huge matchup with the old ball coach getting this game at home. Last year, Georgia was laying 7, and they didn't cover it. And I think South Carolina's going to give Georgia a game again here. Keep an eye on this one. There's going to be a lot of heavy hitting in this one, a lot of pressure, tight game. Watch the number, and lean towards South Carolina in these early season games. Let's face it, Spurrier wins every game he plays early, and then he usually fades late. Penn State and Alabama. Are you kidding me? Does it get any better than that? Seeing Joe Paterno go take on Nick Saban and the number 1 ranked Tide. Both of them have lousy games the week after, so it's all riding on this one. And Bama's everybody's favorite to go to the national championship game. Michigan and Notre Dame in South Bend. They played an awesome game the season before. You know the rivalry. Michigan won it 38-34. Forcier with a late score. Everybody's like, oh, look, Michigan's going to be good again. Rich Rodriguez has got a winner. And then their season went down the toilet after that. So when you look at that game, Notre Dame was laying 3.5, and Michigan beat them outright. And then Notre Dame's got to go to Michigan State the week after. So Michigan has a chance here to worry about this game. The next week they got UMass, so they got nothing to worry about. So the Wolverines are going into South Bend. That'll be the game to be at. The tailgating scene will be rocking, and it should be awesome. And it's a 3:30 game East Coast time. I love this one, though, at the Horseshoe. The Canes, it's all about the U, baby. Canes are going to the Horseshoe to see the Buckeyes. They're going to be going crazy in Columbus. The second-ranked Buckeyes have a chance. Everybody's saying to run the tables, playing the BCS championship game. And we'll find out what Randy Shannon's Canes are all about. The Canes have to play Pitt after this one. So imagine that, going to Ohio State, then going to Pitt. That's not going to be easy. I still like Ohio State here. I don't think that the Canes have enough. I don't like Ja'Cory Harris. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think it's going to take the Canes later in the season when they get into their ACC schedule to start winning the games like they did last season when they won 9 games. I like what Randy Shannon's doing. I like the speed the Canes have. But the Buckeyes have a better defense, more returning players, better quarterback. Terrell Pryor, he is better than Harris, flat out. So I kind of like the Buckeyes here. Florida State and Oklahoma. We're going to find out what the Seminoles are all about now. No more Bobby Bowden, Jumbo Fisher in charge, and they get the great pleasure of going to Norman, Oklahoma to see a Sooner team that is hungry. A lot of people think that they're going to win the Big 12, knock out Texas, and do their thing, and get into the BCS title game. We'll see what they're made of when they play this game here against the Seminoles. That's going to be an awesome game, 3:30 Eastern. Some of the other games I like, Oregon and Tennessee, 7 o'clock game in Knoxville. I love the Ducks. I think they got a shot to win the Pac-10. No more Masoli, who breaks into dorm rooms and steals computers. They're just all about football now out in Eugene. I like Chip Kelly's team. I think they're tough. It's a huge road game for them to go across the country, but I still say they're way better than this Vols team. After all the turmoil of Lane Kiffin leaving them high and dry, I think the Vols are rebuilding, starting from scratch, and I think the Ducks have too much for them. LSU and Vandy, another situation. A new coach at Vandy. Their coach walked out on him this summer. Right before the season started, he says bye-bye, leaves them high and dry, naked at the altar. LSU was favored by 14.5 the year before. 23-9, they beat them. And now they go to Vandy in Nashville. I still like LSU here. The other game I like is a late night West Coast start, 10:30 East, Stanford and UCLA at the Rose Bowl. I love this kid Luck, the quarterback of Stanford, and I think Prince will be healthy by then for the Bruins. I think that's going to be an awesome matchup. You love hanging out with us at Hurley's, don't you? We're in the legendary Tiki Bar upstairs on the 3rd floor. You got to come up here and bust off some beverages and watch some college and pro football here all season long. They show Steeler games on Sundays. The place is raucous. 48th Street between 8th and Broadway in the heart of Times Square in the theater district. Come out and watch football and drink some suds and pound some food with Uncle Futrelli. This is ridiculous. We'll see you next week on Pain Day. It's 100 degrees in New York City, and I'm sweating like a pig. But you can't slow me down because there's football to be betting on. So go to ScottBeatsAman.com for all my action, and you know where to find me on the radio. Until next week, from Hurley's in New York City, so long, everybody.